I wanted to do a quick update. We're making some progress, slow. When we purchased the machine, we knew it had issues with the control panel here. Figuring it was just the backup battery, the yellow deal right there. But when I hooked it up, or I should say tested the battery, we were at 3 volts, a little higher than 3 volts. So a near new battery, but it still wasn't working. So we pulled the power supply out, which is QX84, and where the connector is, right here, a little brown connector. Where the legs went through the board, we were getting our 3 volts, but nowhere else could I get or measure any kind of voltage whatsoever. So we started to examine that connector. There was no traces on the front side nor on the back side that went to that leg, and couldn't figure out what the heck was wrong. Well, after we held the circuit board up to a bright light, there was a very, very fine trace in the middle of the board that went to that connector, and or what appeared. So we desoldered the connector. We could clearly see that there was something there, but wasn't making. I didn't have any continuity between. So where that little trace went, that's in the middle of the board, we was able to solder a connection between the two, and then I was able to find our 3 volts easily on the output of the card. So we plugged it in and booted it up, and everything went as normal. Then our next issue is the parameters, and trying to set up a computer or a laptop was a nightmare. So we purchased one of these Titan DNC units. Came with the cable. On the USB stick had all the instructions. I basically used the default settings. I think I had to change the baud rate. I had to slow it down. Then it took a while to get the NC here set up properly. Just trial and error, and then eventually we had all of our settings correct, and it downloaded the parameters. And of course the compressor wants to come on. So with that, our next issue we had was the battery backup up here, and they had put 4 AA batteries pack up there, which with regular AAs as getting the 2.9 3 volts. The ones I had in there were rechargeable. They're only 1.2, so we were at the 2.8 or whatever it was voltage, and I was still getting an error. And this one here, well, it's hard to see, has the model and serial number but doesn't have a voltage. And I found a picture on the internet that actually had the voltage listed as 3.6 volt. So we definitely wasn't putting out enough voltage. And so I guess so far I kind of took a chance here. These are oh man, 18650 I believe batteries, 3.7 volt. These are in parallel, and it took away the error that was showing that it was low on voltage. And as you can see, we still have an error here, but I've got on a paper here what setting has to be changed to get rid of that. And so today, after a couple of hours playing, we finally got all the axes moving. Struggled because they would only, the Y and Z would only move in one direction, and once you reach the end of it, that's where you were stuck. But anyway, here's our X. And the Y. The only thing I have to figure out now is the Y doesn't go, oh, what do we got here? We're only getting about 10 inches of Y. I believe this is 0 up here, so I can come all the way up to 0. But we've got plenty more movement towards the rear of the machine here, as you can see. So we got to figure that one out. And as you can see, our Z comes back. I can hit all the way without touching. There's 18 inches of travel there. So now when we shut it off and turn it back on, wherever these settings are, it comes right back to where it is. So anyway, slowly making progress here, trying to figure out how to program this has been the biggest challenge. They're hidden in the book somewhere, trying to figure it out. It's just pretty challenging when you're a complete idiot on all this stuff, but we're getting closer. Thanks for watching.